Here is week 3 question number 1, exponential functions using e. So e is called Euler's number. It's like pi. It's not a variable but rather a constant, and it is about 2.72 and so on and so forth. You will see on your calculator that you have an e button. So the Euler's number is programmed into your calculator at a greater number of decimals than we would use by inputting it. So that's the number that you're going to use. You're going to use that e function on your calculator. So the amount of wine in millions of gallons consumed in the United States can be approximated by this function. So we have f at x is equal to 34 times e raised to the power of 0.029x. So here, unlike other examples we've had in prior weeks, here's x as part of an exponent. It says here that x is 50 for the year 1950. So our baseline year would be 1900, right? So 1950 minus 50, that will be 1900. So x is 0 for 1900, yeah? So it says how much wine was consumed in the year 1990. So in 1990, that's 90 years from 1900. So here our x is going to be equal to 90. So we're going to substitute x equals 90 into this function. F at 90 is going to equal 35 e to the 0.029 times 90. Okay, so here you have to be really careful what you're putting into your calculator. Here you're going to want to have brackets around that exponent to make sure that your calculator understands that you are raising e to this product as an exponent rather than just part of it, 0.029. Okay, so we're going to have 34 times e raised to the power of 0.029 times 90. And we're going to, and it's kind of written as an approximation because it depends on how many decimals you use for Euler's number e. And we get around 462 million gallons of wine. Okay. For part B, it says how much wine was consumed in the year 2015. So again, we look back at our base year, which was 1990. We see how many years from 1990 to 2015 is, and so our x value here will be 115. So we're going to substitute 115 in here. And again, make sure that you are raising that e to this entire exponent, and you'll get a value of 955 million gallons. Okay. And question C asks us then, or part C asks us, in what year will the wine consumption be 500 million gallons? So in this case, you're looking for the number of years since 1900, and your f at x value will be 500. So I'll put that on a new page so we have lots of room to write. So we are asked to find the year in which the wine consumption reached 500 million gallons. So 500 would be our f at x value. And we're being asked to find x, or the number of years since 1990 that wine consumption reached 500 million gallons. So here the first step would be to divide both sides by 34. So 500 divided by 34 is going to equal e to the 0.29x. At this point we can do that division, or we can simply take the ln of that division. And so we would take the ln of this side and ln of the other side. okay? And we'll recall that ln and e are sort of inverse operations, if you will, and ln of 500 divided by 34 is 2.69. So we have 2.69 on this side. And that leaves us with 0.029x here. So our last step is going to be to divide each side by 0.029. So let's do that. And we find that x is going to be equal to 92.7 if we round to one decimal. And so this represents 92 or 93, because we're asked to find the first full year, 93 years past when x is 0, so 1900, x was 0. So here we have 1900 plus 93, so 1993. So in 1993, that was the first full year that wine consumption reached 500 million gallons.